Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you upon a request I had, the easiest tropical fruit trees to grow in Melbourne, according to my experience. So we're gonna be going around the garden and I'm gonna be sharing those trees with you. But right now I want to also show what I harvested from the same garden here at Fruitopia in the last few days. We harvested bananas. I've got the rack in the house. White sapote, Wirtz avocado, cherimoya, and macadamia. It's hard to believe that these fruit were grown and picked here in Melbourne, Australia. A lot of people around the world would say, well, that sounds right. It's in Australia, right? Australia is very hot. Guys, if you're from another country, Australia has many different climates. It's not as simple as saying it's hot. It's hot today. It's 31. But for most of the year, here in Melbourne where I am, it's not 31. In Darwin it is. But we're not in Darwin, guys. Melbourne and Darwin are in the same country, but they are as far apart, climatic-wise, as, let's say, London and Cairo, or England and Egypt. So, yeah. So if you're from another country, where I am is not the same as the hotter parts of the country. So these fruit here were picked in the last couple of days, as I said. The banana here I've put on a short. You can go and watch that as part of a short. The white sapote is one of many. They come most of the year. The avocado is one of many that I also have. I've got many different varieties of avocado. And by the way, I have playlists on all these fruit. I've got a playlist for bananas, for sapotes, for avocados, for anonas. Anonas are custard apple. I don't have a playlist for macadamia. They're on their own. I don't grow many nuts, guys, because we have problems with cockatoos and parrots. Right? Lorikeets. So I keep that simple. Okay, so now that you've seen what can grow here in Melbourne, Australia, for real, I'm going to take you around the garden and help you start your own tropical fruit garden if you're in a cooler climate. This video is not for people in the heat of the world, like the tropics, right? Like in Darwin or Miami, or let's see, where else? Indonesia. This video is not for that. This video is for people that are in a cooler part of the world, on a marginal climates. Marginal means 6 months of cool weather and 6 months of mild to warm weather, which is exactly where I am. Yeah, we have over 6 months of cold weather here, which they don't get in the true tropics. In the true tropics, it's hot all year round. Not here, guys. I have to keep emphasizing that because many people around the world see Australia as one climate. It's not like that at all. I am in the coldest part of the country, and yet look what I have here. The coldest part of Australia. It's hard to believe, but it's true, as I'm showing you here on the video. So the first tree that you will grow in your new tropical fruit garden in a cooler climate is this one here. And the ones I'm showing you today are not only easier to grow than most others, but they're also the fastest. This is the Loquat. It's got many different names. So we're going to use English, guys. I wish I could name these trees in all the different languages, but you're going to have to do that work yourself. So this is Loquat. I believe they call it Nespero or Nespiro in Italian. and other languages, but I can't help you with many of the other languages. Biva, I think Biva, Beva in Chinese, Japanese. So Loquat is the first tree. But this tree is 2.5 meters tall, almost 3 meters tall, and I've only had it in the ground for 1 year. 1 year in the ground, and look at it. It's huge for a young tree. So I'm going to quickly show you where this tree was exactly 12 months ago. Hang on. Okay, here's another one that is in a pot, right? 12 months ago, that tree I just showed you was in a pot like this. And it was around 1.5 meters tall. Actually, it was shorter than this. This has grown since then, right? The tree in the ground was the same as this one here. And yet now it's 2.5 to 3 meters tall. So Loquat is the first one we're gonna begin with. Here is another Loquat I have in the ground. I planted this from seed around 8 years ago. So this is what your Loquat will look like after 8 years in the ground. It's standing at about 3 meters, and I trim it every year, and it's due for a trim real soon. It just finished fruiting, right? The fruiting season is over. This comes in spring. It's a spring tree, and now it's the middle of summer. So the first tree is a Loquat, and here's another Loquat that's 30 years old. Yeah, it's a monster size. It's up to you how big you want to have it. You can have it in a pot at 1.5 meters, or you can have it as tall as this tree here. This is 5 meters, but it's over 30 years old. Up to you. The second tree that's fast growing and easy to grow in a cool climate is banana. Yeah, a lot of people think that banana equals tropical, only in the tropics. Wrong. You can grow bananas all the way down to zone 8, even zone 7, if you're able to pull it out in winter or cover it, protect it, right? But this video is focused more on people in zone 9. So zone 9A, 9B is a lot easier. I don't have to cover or protect or bring inside any of these trees that I'm showing you today. These are all fending for themselves. They don't need the help of the gardener. So bananas are on the list as well. They're number 2. I just showed you the banana that I harvested. And well, it's as simple as that. Bananas are easy peasy to grow and to look after. Here's a bunch of bananas that I have at the moment, hanging from the plant, right? And there's another bunch there. So it's very doable, guys. Okay, the next fruit, which is super easy to grow, is the white sapote, the one I showed you on the table where we started the video, right? There are many different varieties, just like there are many different varieties of bananas. There's also many different varieties of white sapote. And also this one here is rare. It's very pretty much unknown. I mean, depends where you are. In Mexico it's very well known, but here in Australia, you won't see this for sale because it has a short shelf life. So the white sapote, and if you can grow citrus, because it belongs in the same category as citrus, if you can grow citrus, you can grow white sapote. Right, I'm going to keep this very simple. We're not going to get technical with jargon. Right, most of you are not professors or chemists. All you want to know is, what can I grow here where it's cold? Right, that's what you want to know. And I'm giving it to you in layman's terms. White sapote. There's also black sapote, but that's not going to go on the list, because black sapote is probably not as favorable as white sapote as far as taste, right? This is super sweet, the white sapote, whereas the black sapote is a little flavorless, and also it takes far longer to grow than the white sapote. So that's off the list. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great having this, but it's not as easy to grow as the white sapote. So white sapote is on the list. And like I said, there's many varieties. I've got about 8-9 varieties. All you need is one. And I would recommend either Subel or Lemon Gold. Right, this is the other one. This is the Lemon Gold. Right, they pretty much taste the same. Subel, of course, has got a more brown sugar kind of taste. This is the Lemon Gold. So yeah, easy to grow, guys, and you can manage it to any size you want. You can even grow this in a pot, which I wouldn't recommend, but if you're tight on space, you can get away with it. The next tree, fruit tree, is the cherimoya. Very, very easy. It's an annona, which means it's in the same family as the custard apple. It's also the one I had on the table, which I showed you at the beginning of the video. This is a new tree. It hasn't fruited yet, but I've got another one which has fruited many times, and we're gonna go and check that out soon. But cherimoya, it's also very rare to find around Australia, but this goes on the list because it's cold hardy, it's fast growing, and it's easy to maintain. Custard apple is not on the list because it's a little bit more sensitive to cold than cherimoya, but you can try it out if you like. But cherimoya is definitely a lot easier to grow in a marginal climate like Melbourne, Tasmania, or South Australia. So you can go for both, or go with the cherimoya to begin with. And the reason I say that, guys, is because I've never lost a cherimoya, but I've lost custard apples. Custard apple is atemoya in the USA. So I would strongly suggest to start with cherimoya rather than atemoya. This is an atemoya as well. This one has been super easy. This is the Hillary White. But as I said, I've lost like 5 different custard apples, but I've never lost a cherimoya. Some of them are more sensitive than others. So the first cherimoya I showed you is 3 years old, and it's already taller than me. This one here is 10 years old, and it's as you can see, it's huge, and that's after major pruning, right? And as you can see, it's looking really healthy. Cherimoya is on the list also. Next on the list is avocado. Now avocados, again, just like the atemoya, come in easy and not so easy, depending on the variety or the cultivar. I would suggest starting your avocado with, if you're in a cooler part of the world, with a bacon variety. That's what it's called. It's actually called bacon, which I have in the front. I'm going to show you that soon. This one here is a Wurtz variety. I would not suggest going with this one because from my experience it took like 6 years to give the first fruit, whereas the bacon has taken only 3 years. So again, it all depends on your patience. They are definitely different. Different cultivars are different from each other as far as cold sensitivity and fast growth or slow growth. So stick with the easy ones like the bacon, lamb has, not has, unless you have a large space. I'll show you the has. That's a has avocado. Great, easy growing variety. But look at the size of it, guys. It's half the size of my house. If you have the room, you plant that. But if you don't have the room, obviously you're not going to grow has. It's huge. So go with the lamb has. Lamb has is a dwarf version of this. Okay, this is the bacon, which is more of an upright, narrow shaped tree, right? And you determine how high you want it to be. This one is standing at 4 meters, but you can bring it easily down to 3 meters. And as I said, it's only 3 to 4 years old, and it's already fruiting for us, guys. So, where is it? The fruit are up a little higher. Here you are. Right, there you go. And there's more back there. So, this is the bacon avocado. Perfect for cool climates. Next on the list is guava, tropical guava. We have tropical and we have temperate. This is the Aman variety, which is tropical. Now, the fully tropical guavas are going to be a bit of a challenge if you're in an area that gets hard frost. You would need to protect these. So there's an exception here. They will need protection in winter until they're established. So the other guava, the cool climate one, is this one. And this comes in different flavors, just like the tropical one. So this is the yellow cherry or lemon guava, and this one can tolerate the cold. So this one is a lot easier to grow, but it's not tropical. It's more on the temperate side, right? So you can try one or both. You can try this one and the other one, or just stick with this one. This one is like dead easy to grow, even in areas with hard frost. So these come in yellow, red, and purple color, right? Pretty much similar taste. This is the sweetest of all of them, the so-called lemon or Cattleya guava. And they have a lot of fruit, but they're small. They're the size of cherry tomatoes, right? But they pack a punch. And this here is the truly tropical guava. Just like the Aman, this is the white Indian. And again, these will need protection for the first 3 years. I've lost not many, I've lost a few of these, but I've never lost the temperate one, right? So you can try both, like I said, or go for one. Go for the easy one or the hard one, or both. I've done both, and so far so good, no problems. Now we move to the tropical cherries. This is also an easy one. However, it's not fast growing, it's very slow. So we've switched gears now. This is called Brazilian cherry or grumichama. This is 10 years old. Yeah, 10 years. So be prepared to wait up to 10 years to get a decent sized tree when you're dealing with tropical cherries. But it's doable, guys, as you can see. Mine is thriving here in Melbourne. Now with these, there's different flavors, different types of tropical cherry. You got the grumichama, you got the Suriname, you have the acerola, you have a few other ones, right? But from my experience, this one is the most cold tolerant, together with the Suriname cherry. Suriname cherry is easy to grow, very easy, but the flavor, in my opinion, is not as good as this grumichama. So if you're after flavor, I would skip the Suriname cherry and go with the grumichama instead. But be prepared to wait between 5, or let's say up to 5 years for the first fruit here in a marginal climate. This is the Suriname cherry. which is, like I said, closely related to the Gurumichama, but well, I've had no luck with it fruiting yet. That's just one of those things that happens, right? Others have. Even in England, a friend has gotten fruit of his, which is amazing, right? And after 10 years, mine hasn't fruited yet, but I have tasted the fruit. I tasted the fruit somewhere else, and it wasn't exactly at the top of my cherry favorites, but the Gurumichama definitely is. So up to you if you want to try this one. This one is the easiest to grow as far as climate. This is the acerola or Barbados cherry. Now this one is not on the list because it does not like the cold at all, and I've given it a nickname, like I have many of the true tropicals, of Suk. Suk means baby. He's a baby when it comes to the cold. He doesn't like the cold, so he's definitely not on the list of easy to grow tropicals in Melbourne or in cool climates, but the Gurumichama is. Next is the jujube or Chinese date. These are very, very common in China and completely unknown in the West. Well, I'd never heard of it till I was in my 40s, right? And I think everyone in China knows this. And the reason I'm highlighting this one, guys, is because this one, out of all the trees I've shown you in this video, this one is the most cold tolerant. This one will even grow down to, I believe, zone 6, zone 7. In other words, if you get snow up to here, this will still grow in summer because it's deciduous, right? Just like the stone fruit, it drops all its leaves in winter, so it doesn't get affected by the cold. So jujube, Jujube. It's got many different names, like I said, but in English we use the word jujube. And there's many varieties, and I've got like several. This is the oldest one I have, and over here is the young one. That one right there. This one here. So that's what you're looking at after a couple of years. The big one I showed you is 10 years old. So 10 years, 2 years, and that one there is 4 years. So these are different varieties. They're not all the same, but the bottom line is they're all the same when it comes to ease of growth. Now this video is not about how do they taste. You'll have to go and check out other videos on taste and how to feed them and all the miscellaneous questions. That's not what this video is about. This video is about choosing the right trees for your new tropical fruit garden and doing it easily without too much stress. Although not entirely tropical, the mulberry also has different varieties that fall into the category of subcategory of easy and hard, right? So the easy one would be this one here. This is the so-called dwarf variety, which is over 10 feet tall. It's far from a dwarf, but I think someone told me it has to do with the rootstock or something. I'm not sure. Dwarfing rootstock. The mulberry should be on your list because it's extremely fast growing, extremely easy to grow, and extremely delicious in my opinion. And there's, like I said, many different varieties. I've got several, and this should go on your list too. But be warned, its roots can get very invasive, so don't plant the mulberry anywhere near pipes or foundations. Very fast. This is probably the fastest growing out of all of them on this list today. There's another mulberry there. Another mulberry there. Next is the pomegranate fruit tree. right? These are fast growing, relatively speaking, and very easy, plant and forget. And I've had mixed results because even though they're fast growing and easy growing, they don't like sharing the immediate area. I don't know exactly the details, but this is my neighbor's pomegranate, and it seems to be doing really well, even though it's sharing the roots, its roots with these pine trees, right? Look how close they are. You would think these pines would be sucking this pomegranate dead, dry, right? But no, that's not the case. It's thriving. The tree is thriving, as you can see. And no, it's got nothing to do with feeding. He's never. Not only has he never fed that tree, he didn't even plant it. It was a volunteer. Whereas my pomegranates here, I've pampered them, and I've never had any luck with them. So, and I'm thinking that this hedge might be part of that reason, right? I don't want to get into the fine details about how, why, when, but the bottom line is they're easy to grow, they're fast to grow, and it goes on the list as well, the pomegranate. And there's another one back there, right? There's two here, that one back there, two different varieties. And the last tree on our list, guys, is this here. This is the persimmon, or kaki, right? This is not truly tropical, but it's somewhere in the middle between temperate and subtropical. And the reason it's on the list is because, well, you're not going to regret the results when you get that fruit. So just like pomegranate, these need a lot of sun, right? A lot of heat, because they come late. They come late in the season. They don't come. The fruit is not picked during summer. They come at the end of fall or at the end of autumn and early winter. So if you get heavy frosts in your local area, you're not going to have much luck with pomegranate and persimmon because they're late to the party. So it's on the list just in case in your growing zone you can get away with harvesting fruit late in the season. So this is persimmon, and I've got several different varieties of these too, right? And we are done. That was the list of easy to grow, fast growing tropicals to get your tropical fruit garden started in a cool climate. So before you do anything, before you lift a finger, there's a requirement or a clause before you begin, and that is you won't be able to grow any of the trees I showed you just now in this video unless you can grow citrus unprotected, right? And by the way, this video is for growing in ground, not in pots, because in pots we can grow anything, right? Because you can put the pot inside your kitchen. We're talking about growing tropicals in the ground. Yes, you can cover them if you have to the first couple of years, like the guava. Yes, but if you can't grow citrus like this mandarin orange unprotected in your location, you won't be able to grow any of the other trees I just showed you, guys. So that's a prerequisite before you get started. Can you answer the question? Can you or can't you grow citrus in ground? If you say yes I can, then proceed with what I've shown you. If you say no I can't, then sorry guys, you're gonna have to either stay with the stone fruit or try and grow what I've shown you today in pots. That's the video. And the reason why I didn't share mango, longan, lychee, is because these are not easy to grow in ground in a cool marginal climate, and they're slow, super duper slow, so they're not on the list. Sorry. You can try though in pots, but don't get too excited for results. Okay, we're back to where we started. Thanks for watching. I wish you all the best with your tropical journey in a cool climate, growing these wonderful fruits. Macadamia is not on the list either because these can take up to 10 years. There are varieties that will fruit within 3 or 4 years, but yeah, I would suggest staying with what I showed you on this video to begin with, to get started, and then you can venture out into macadamias and other tropicals like pomelo. That's also another good one. But like I said, can you or can't you do citrus in ground in your area? You have to answer that question first. Alright guys, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you from the next one. Bye guys.